Is there really one food that can fix your health? The truth may surprise you. Every week, seniors are hit with flashy headlines, miracle powders, and the next so-called superfood. One day, it is kale. The next day, it is blueberries. Then suddenly it is a green drink that claims to erase years of damage. No wonder so many older adults feel confused and even discouraged. When you are told that salvation lies in one special item, it sets you up for disappointment. You spend the money, you put your hope into it, and when nothing changes, you feel like maybe good health is out of reach. I once spoke with a woman in her 70s who had a cabinet full of powders. She had tried goji berries, acai blends, even imported seaweed capsules. But despite spending hundreds of dollars, her energy was still low, and her blood pressure was still high. Her story is not rare. I meet many seniors who have gone down the same path. They want to do the right thing, but the marketing noise drowns out the real message. Here is what we need to understand. No single food will erase years of damage or instantly restore your health. Your body does not work that way. Food is not medicine in the sense that one pill or one berry can fix a symptom. Instead, food is the raw material your body uses to repair, to rebuild, and to keep you strong. Think of it like building a house. You cannot build a safe home with just one material. You need wood, bricks, cement, glass, and metal. The same is true for your body. You need variety. You need balance. You need foods that complement one another. The fear of wasting money and time on fad diets is real. But here is the good news. When you step away from the hype and come back to the basics, the path to health becomes simple again. Leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, quality proteins, natural fats, and small amounts of fruit all work together to give your body what it has been missing. These are not glamorous foods. They do not need fancy labels, but they provide the vitamins, minerals, and building blocks that truly support your liver, your heart, your muscles, and your brain. And here is the promise. In this video, you will discover the healthiest foods for seniors, not based on marketing tricks, but on how they actually work inside your body. You will learn why eggs are not the enemy, why vegetables are the backbone of every healthy meal, and why choosing the right fats may be the difference between healing and hurting your liver. By the end, you will have a food guide you can trust for the rest of your life. You will know exactly what to put on your plate, what to limit, and what to skip altogether. And do not worry, it will not be complicated. My goal is to make it simple, practical, and realistic for your daily life. Stay with me because I also have a little surprise. At the end, I will share a bonus treat food that not only satisfies your sweet tooth, but can also fit into a healthy lifestyle. You do not want to miss it. But before we get into the foods themselves, let us clear away the biggest myths that keep people stuck. Tip 1. Non-starchy vegetables. Can vegetables really be unlimited if they are low in starch? That is a question many people ask, and it is an important one for seniors who are watching both their blood sugar and their weight. For years, we were told to pile our plates with potatoes, corn, and peas. But here is the problem. Those are starchy vegetables. Inside your body, they behave more like bread. They raise blood sugar quickly, and over time, that puts stress on both the liver and the pancreas. The good news is that non-starchy vegetables tell a very different story. Leafy greens such as spinach, kale, and romaine lettuce are loaded with vitamins and minerals but very low in sugar. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts are packed with fiber and antioxidants while keeping carbohydrates to a minimum. These foods give your body nutrients that protect your heart, support your liver, and strengthen your immune system. And because the starch content is so low, you can enjoy generous portions without worrying about spikes in blood sugar. A simple guideline is this. Fill half your plate with non-starchy vegetables at every meal. That could mean 2 cups, which is about 480 milliliters, of salad greens, or 1 cup of steamed broccoli, which is about 90 grams. Add a drizzle of olive oil or a sprinkle of nuts, and they become even more satisfying. Here is one caution. Learn how to track net carbohydrates. Some vegetables may look high in carbs at first glance, but when you subtract the fiber, the real impact on blood sugar is very small. For example, 1 cup of cauliflower may show 5 grams of total carbohydrate, but most of that is fiber, leaving only about 2 grams of net carbs. Vegetables are the foundation of every healthy plate, but not all fruits are as safe. Tip 2. Berries. Fruit is natural, but is it always safe? That is a question many seniors have, especially when doctors and advertisements constantly promote fruit as a health food. The truth is, not all fruit is created equal. Modern fruit has been bred to be much larger and much sweeter than what our ancestors once ate. A single grocery store apple today can hold as much sugar as a candy bar. That sugar, even though it is natural, still forces your liver and pancreas to work overtime. Over time, too much sweet fruit can raise blood sugar, increase fat storage, and even worsen fatty liver disease. This is where berries stand out. Unlike bananas, grapes, or mangoes, berries are naturally low in sugar and high in fiber. That fiber slows down the release of sugar into your bloodstream, keeping insulin levels steady. Berries are also packed with antioxidants that protect your cells from damage and help reduce inflammation. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries all deliver these benefits. They provide vitamin C and unique plant compounds that help your body fight stress and slow aging. So, how much is enough? A simple and safe guideline is 1/2 cup per day, which is about 75 grams. That serving gives you the benefits without overwhelming your system with sugar. You can add berries to plain yogurt, sprinkle them over a salad, or enjoy them fresh as a snack. Here is one caution. Do not assume that if a little is good, then a lot must be better. If you sit down with a big bowl of grapes or eat several mangoes, you may be consuming the equivalent of 5 to 6 teaspoons of sugar in one sitting. Even though the sugar is natural, your liver still processes it the same way. For many seniors with insulin resistance or fatty liver, this overload can make things worse instead of better. Think of berries as the fruit that gives you taste and nutrients without the sugar crash. They can be a daily part of your diet, but keep the serving modest. Berries are the safer fruit choice, but they are not the whole story. To build strength and protect your health, you also need complete protein. Now let us talk about meat and why it plays such a critical role. Tip 3. Animal proteins. Is red meat always bad? That is the message many seniors have heard for decades. Doctors, magazines, and television shows often warn against beef or pork, saying they raise cholesterol or cause heart disease. But the truth is more nuanced. When you strip away the myths and look at the science, animal proteins can be some of the most important foods for keeping your muscles, bones, and immune system strong as you age. Animal proteins provide complete amino acids. That means they contain every single building block your body needs to repair tissues, maintain muscle, and even produce hormones. Most plant foods do not offer this full spectrum. Seniors especially need these amino acids because muscle naturally declines with age, a process called sarcopenia. A steady supply of protein can slow this decline and keep you active and independent. Red meat also provides iron, zinc, and vitamin B12. These nutrients support energy, nerve function, and immune health. Poultry offers lean protein with less fat, while fatty fish such as salmon and sardines deliver powerful omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation and protect your heart. These are not just extras. They are vital components of a diet that supports long-term health. So how much should you eat? A safe and balanced guideline is 3 to 4 ounces, which is about 85 to 110 grams, 3 to 4 times per week. That portion is about the size of a deck of cards. Combined with vegetables, it creates a filling and nourishing meal. One caution is to choose the best quality you can. Grass-fed beef contains a healthier ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fats than grain-fed beef. Wild-caught fish is far less likely to contain toxins than farm-raised fish. Think of it this way: the health of the animal directly affects the health of the food on your plate. I once worked with a retired teacher who avoided red meat for years because she thought it was dangerous. But she felt constantly tired and weak. When she added small portions of grass-fed beef and salmon to her weekly meals, her energy returned, and her doctor noticed improvements in her blood work. Her story shows how the right kind of protein can restore vitality. Animal proteins are powerful allies, but there is another everyday food that deserves attention. And do not forget the humble egg. It may be one of the most complete foods you can eat. Tip 4. Eggs. Are eggs bad for cholesterol? That question has caused confusion for decades. Seniors especially worry because they were told to avoid eggs if they wanted to protect their heart. For years, people heard that eating eggs would raise cholesterol and clog their arteries. But modern research shows a very different truth. Eggs are not the enemy. In fact, when chosen wisely, they may be one of the most complete and healing foods you can eat. Eggs are packed with nutrients that your body needs every single day. One of the most important is choline, a nutrient that helps your liver burn fat instead of storing it. That means eggs can play a role in protecting you from fatty liver disease, which is a growing concern among seniors. Eggs are also rich in B vitamins, especially B6, B9, and B12, which support nerve health and energy production. Add to that the healthy fats in the yolk, including omega-3, if the hens were pasture-raised, and you have a food that nourishes both the brain and the body. So how much is safe? A practical guideline is 2 to 3 eggs daily. That could be a simple breakfast omelet or hard-boiled eggs as a snack. 2 eggs provide around 12 grams of high-quality protein, and that protein helps maintain muscle mass as you age. Remember, muscle is your reserve tank of strength and independence. There is one important caution. Not all eggs are equal. Eggs from factory-farmed hens that never see sunlight are pale and lower in nutrients. You can often see the difference by looking at the yolk color. A pale yellow yolk usually means poor nutrition, while a deep orange yolk signals higher nutrient density. Look for pasture-raised eggs whenever possible. In the United States, this label means the chickens lived outdoors with room to roam and forage. Those eggs are richer in vitamins, minerals, and omega-3 fatty acids. I remember a senior gentleman who had avoided eggs for years because of cholesterol fear. When he finally reintroduced 2 pasture-raised eggs each morning, he was amazed at how satisfied and energized he felt. His doctor later told him his cholesterol numbers had not worsened at all. In fact, his HDL, the good cholesterol, had gone up. Eggs are simple, affordable, and versatile. They are a cornerstone of a nutrient-dense diet, not a food to fear. Eggs may surprise you with how beneficial they really are, but what you cook them in matters just as much. Now let us talk about fats and oils. Tip 5. Fats and oils. Is fat really what makes us fat? For years, that is what seniors were told. Margarine was pushed as healthy. Butter was demonized. People avoided fat at all costs, believing it was the direct cause of weight gain and heart disease. But the truth is different. Processed carbohydrates and sugars, not natural fats, are the real culprits behind fat storage and insulin resistance. Here is why. When you eat bread, pasta, or sugary snacks, your body quickly breaks them down into glucose. That glucose spikes your blood sugar and forces your pancreas to release insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone. It tells your body to store the extra energy as fat, especially in the liver and around the waist. Natural fats like olive oil or coconut oil do not trigger this insulin surge. Instead, they provide steady energy, help absorb vitamins, and even keep you feeling full longer. Healthy fats also protect the heart and brain. Olive oil contains monounsaturated fats that reduce inflammation. Coconut oil provides medium-chain triglycerides that the body uses quickly for fuel. Grass-fed butter contains vitamin K2, which helps guide calcium into the bones instead of letting it clog the arteries. These are not dangerous foods. They are healing foods when used in moderation. So, how should you use them? Make olive oil your everyday oil for salads and low-heat cooking. Add 1 to 2 tablespoons, which is about 15 to 30 milliliters, over vegetables or whole-grain dishes. Use coconut oil for higher heat cooking, like stir-frying, because it stays stable at higher temperatures. Grass-fed butter can be spread on vegetables or melted into eggs for flavor and extra nutrients. One important caution: toxins and pesticides accumulate in fat. That is why cheap oils like heavily processed soybean, corn, or canola oil often carry a toxic load. They are also chemically refined, oxidized, and rancid by the time they reach your plate. Buying organic or minimally processed oils is worth the extra cost, especially if you use them daily. I remember one senior who switched from margarine and canola oil to olive oil and grass-fed butter. Within months, not only did her cholesterol improve, but she also felt more satisfied after meals and stopped reaching for snacks in the afternoon. Healthy fats are not your enemy. They are your allies, but they are only part of the picture. Another group of foods that can powerfully support your health are nuts and seeds. Let us look at why they matter. Tip 6. Nuts. Are nuts too high in calories? That is a concern many seniors share. A small handful of nuts can feel heavy, and when you see the calorie count on the label, it may seem like they will only add to your waistline. But the truth is very different. Nuts, when eaten in the right amount, are one of the most powerful foods you can include in your diet. Nuts are calorie-dense, but those calories come from healthy fats, fiber, and protein. These nutrients work together to keep you full and satisfied, so you are less likely to reach for sugary snacks or processed foods. The fats in nuts are mostly monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, the same heart-friendly fats found in olive oil and fish. The fiber in nuts helps regulate digestion and slow the release of sugar into your bloodstream. That makes them a smart choice for seniors who want to keep blood sugar steady. Science backs this up. Studies published in the journal Circulation show that people who regularly eat nuts have a lower risk of heart disease, even though nuts are high in calories. That is because nuts improve cholesterol levels, reduce inflammation, and support healthy blood vessels. So how much is just right? A simple rule is 1 handful daily, about 1 ounce or 28 grams. That could be 20 almonds, 15 cashews, or 14 walnut halves. This small serving packs a powerful punch of nutrition without overloading you. You can eat them as a snack, sprinkle them on a salad, or add them to plain yogurt for crunch. There is one caution to keep in mind. Nuts are easy to overeat. Because they taste good and feel light in the hand, it is easy to grab several handfuls without realizing it. Cashews in particular are a little higher in carbohydrate compared to other nuts, so portion control matters. Pre-portioning your serving into a small bowl instead of eating directly from the bag can help. I once spoke with a retired nurse who started swapping her afternoon cookies for a handful of mixed nuts. Within weeks, she noticed she felt satisfied longer, had more energy for her evening walks, and even lost a few pounds without trying. That is the power of eating smarter, not less. Nuts are a simple way to add healthy fats and protein to your diet. But they are not the only tiny powerhouse. Seeds are even more versatile, and they may surprise you with what they can do. Tip 7. Seeds: chia, flax, hemp, pumpkin. Can seeds really replace cereal? That may sound surprising, but the answer is yes. For many seniors, breakfast cereal has been a lifelong habit, but most boxed cereals are packed with sugar and refined grains that send your blood sugar soaring. Seeds, on the other hand, deliver all the crunch and satisfaction without the sugar crash. Chia, flax, hemp, and pumpkin seeds are tiny, but they are nutritional giants. They are loaded with fiber, which helps regulate digestion and keeps you feeling full. They also provide healthy fats that protect your heart and brain. Unlike cereal, which often turns into sugar minutes after you eat it, seeds are nearly zero net carbs. That means you can enjoy them without worrying about spikes in blood sugar or insulin. Chia and flax seeds are especially high in plant-based omega-3. Hemp seeds add plant protein, which is valuable for seniors trying to maintain muscle. Pumpkin seeds are rich in magnesium, a mineral that supports nerve function, muscle relaxation, and sleep. Together, these seeds form a powerhouse that no sugary cereal can match. So how do you use them? A simple and tasty way is to add 2 tablespoons, which is about 20 grams, to plain yogurt or a smoothie. Chia seeds will absorb liquid and create a pudding-like texture. Flax seeds are best when ground because that makes their nutrients easier to absorb. Hemp seeds add a creamy, nutty flavor. Pumpkin seeds can be sprinkled on top for crunch. This combination turns breakfast into a balanced, satisfying meal that fuels your day. Here is one caution. The omega-3 in seeds come in a form called ALA, which the body does not convert very efficiently into the active forms APA and DHA. That is why seeds should not be your only source of omega-3. Seniors still need fatty fish like salmon or sardines for complete support. Think of seeds as a foundation but not a replacement for fish. I remember a retired gentleman who swapped his morning cereal for a bowl of chia pudding with berries and hemp seeds. Within weeks, he noticed his energy lasted longer and his afternoon sugar cravings disappeared. Seeds are small, but their benefits are huge. And speaking of nutrient-dense foods, there is another creamy superstar that deserves its own spotlight. Now let us meet the avocado. Tip 8. Avocado. Why is avocado called the perfect staple? That is a question many seniors ask when they see avocados praised on health shows, in cookbooks, and across grocery aisles. Some wonder if it is just another food fad, while others are surprised that a fruit so creamy and high in fat could be considered healthy. The truth is, avocado has earned its reputation because it is uniquely balanced in a way that supports long-term health and steady energy. Avocado is high in natural fat, but its fats are heart-friendly. These are mostly monounsaturated fats, the same type found in olive oil, which are known to reduce inflammation and support circulation. At the same time, avocado is very low in carbohydrates. That makes it a smart choice for seniors who need to avoid blood sugar spikes. Its creamy texture and rich taste also make it satisfying, helping you feel full without needing to overeat. Beyond fats and carbs, avocado is packed with fiber, potassium, and antioxidants. Fiber supports digestion and regularity, something many older adults struggle with. Potassium helps balance blood pressure and maintain healthy muscle function. Antioxidants in avocados, such as lutein, also support eye health, which is especially important with age. So how much is just right? A simple guideline is about 1/2 of an avocado per day. That serving size provides healthy fats and nutrients without overdoing calories. You can slice it on whole grain toast, dice it into a salad, blend it into a smoothie, or simply scoop it out with a spoon. Avocado's versatility is one reason it is called a staple. It fits into almost any meal. Here is one caution. While avocado is a fantastic food, it is not a miracle cure. Eating large amounts will not reverse disease on its own. Think of it as part of a bigger picture. A balanced diet that includes proteins, vegetables, and other nutrient-rich foods. I recall a woman in her 70s who started adding half an avocado to her lunch salad each day. She told me she felt more satisfied, her afternoon sugar cravings faded, and her doctor even noticed her blood pressure improving. Small, consistent changes like this can have lasting effects. Avocado is creamy, filling, and reliable, a perfect everyday staple. But health is also about variety. Next, let us look at root vegetables and how they can play a supportive role. Tip 9. Tubers: sweet potatoes, carrots, turnips. Are root vegetables safe for low-carb diets? That is a question I hear often, especially from seniors who are told to avoid potatoes and other starchy foods. The fear is that these vegetables are loaded with sugar and will only make blood sugar worse. But the truth is more balanced. Tubers, when eaten in the right portions, can provide steady energy and valuable nutrients. Sweet potatoes, carrots, and turnips are some of the best examples. These root vegetables contain natural starch, which the body can use for fuel. Unlike processed carbs, their starch is bundled with fiber, vitamins, and minerals. This means the energy is released more slowly, and you avoid the sharp spikes and crashes that come from white bread or pasta. Sweet potatoes, for example, are rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A for eye health and immune support. Carrots also provide antioxidants that help protect cells from damage. Turnips are lower in starch than potatoes and offer vitamin C along with fiber to support digestion. These are not empty calories. They are nutrient-dense foods that can be part of a healthy plate. So what is the right intake? A safe and balanced guideline is about 1/2 cup of cooked root vegetables, which is about 100 grams, served as part of a meal. That small portion gives you natural energy without overwhelming your system. Try roasted sweet potato cubes with herbs, mashed turnips as a lighter, alternative to mashed potatoes or sliced carrots steamed alongside fish. One caution is important. If you are insulin resistant, then even healthy tubers can add to the problem. In that case, it may be better to limit them until blood sugar and insulin levels improve. Think of them as an occasional side, not an everyday staple, if you are working to reverse insulin resistance. I recall a gentleman in his late 60s who loved potatoes. When his doctor warned him about diabetes, he thought he had to give them up forever. Instead, he learned to swap his big plate of fries for a small serving of roasted carrots and sweet potato. Not only did he feel satisfied, but his blood sugar readings improved. Root vegetables can be part of a healthy diet when used wisely. They provide comfort, flavor, and energy, but they are not the last piece of the puzzle. Finally, let us add herbs and spices, nature's smallest but most powerful healers. Tip 10. Herbs and spices. Can spices act like natural medicine? That is a question many seniors ask as they hear about turmeric for inflammation, garlic for the heart, or ginger for digestion. The truth is, while herbs and spices are not magic pills, they do carry powerful natural compounds that support the body in gentle but meaningful ways. Garlic is one of the oldest examples. Studies show that garlic can help lower blood pressure and support cholesterol balance. Ginger is another favorite. It calms the stomach, eases nausea, and even helps reduce muscle soreness after activity. Turmeric, with its bright yellow color, contains curcumin, a compound proven to fight inflammation. Inflammation is a root cause of many chronic conditions that affect seniors, from arthritis to memory decline. By adding these spices into daily meals, you can reduce the body's burden without relying on extra supplements. The best part is how easy it is to use them. Simply add garlic to roasted vegetables, sprinkle turmeric into soups or scrambled eggs, or grate fresh ginger into hot tea. Using these herbs and spices every day turns ordinary meals into healing meals. So how much is enough? Think of herbs and spices as daily seasonings. A clove of garlic in your stir-fry, half a teaspoon of turmeric in soup, or a teaspoon of fresh grated ginger in tea is all it takes. Small amounts, used regularly, build up their benefits over time. Here is one caution. Herbs and spices are wonderful as part of food, but they are not a replacement for medical treatment. For example, turmeric powder in your curry supports your health, but it should not be used in place of prescribed medication for arthritis. Think of them as helpers, not substitutes. I once worked with a woman who started adding ginger tea to her evening routine. She told me it soothed her digestion and even helped her sleep more comfortably. These simple practices done daily can make a real difference. Herbs and spices are nature's smallest but most powerful flavor boosters. They turn food into both nourishment and medicine. And speaking of little treats, there is one bonus food that surprises many people. Next, let us talk about dark chocolate. Bonus: dark chocolate. Did you know that one small square of dark chocolate can give you antioxidants without wrecking your health goals? Many seniors worry that enjoying chocolate means giving up on a healthy lifestyle. But when you choose the right kind, it can actually support your body. Dark chocolate with 78 to 85% cocoa is rich in antioxidants and fiber. It helps fight cell damage and even supports heart health. The darker the chocolate, the less sugar it has. For example, one square from a high-quality bar contains about 1.5 grams of sugar. Compare that to milk chocolate, which can have 5 times as much. The key is moderation. Enjoy 1 or 2 squares with tea in the afternoon. It satisfies cravings without causing sugar spikes. Chocolate can be a pleasure and still fit into a balanced life. Next, let us bring all of these foods together into a simple guide. Can everyday foods really change the health of your liver? Science says yes, and the evidence is stronger than most people realize. One of the most important studies published in the journal Hepatology showed that excess fructose, the sugar found in fruit juice and sweetened drinks, places a direct burden on the liver. Unlike glucose, which can be used by every cell in the body, fructose must be processed only by the liver. When the liver is overloaded, it turns that sugar into fat, leading to fatty liver disease. But there is good news. Nutrients like choline, found in eggs, can actually help the liver burn fat more effectively. A study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that higher choline intake was linked to improved liver fat metabolism. That means something as simple as adding 2 pasture-raised eggs to breakfast can support liver repair. Another proven ally is omega-3 fatty acids from fish such as salmon and sardines. Clinical trials show that omega-3 reduces inflammation in the liver and improves blood fat levels, making it easier for the liver to heal. I once worked with a senior who struggled with fatty liver. He loved fruit juice and drank 2 tall glasses a day. When he cut out the juice and replaced it with water while adding eggs for breakfast and salmon twice a week, his liver enzymes improved within 3 months. He told me he felt lighter, had more energy, and finally understood how food could work like gentle medicine. The science is clear. Sugar overload harms, but nutrient-rich foods like eggs and fish heal. And this is why the right food choices are far more powerful than any so-called superfood. Next, let us see how to put this knowledge into a simple daily plan. Is there really one food that can transform your health overnight? The truth is no. Health is not about chasing a single miracle food. It is about variety, balance, and choosing foods raised as nature intended. Think of your body like a garden. If you only water one plant, the rest of the garden will dry up. In the same way, if you rely on just one superfood, the rest of your body will miss what it needs. But when you combine vegetables, quality proteins, healthy fats, and natural seasonings, you give your body the full spectrum of tools it requires to thrive. So where do you start? Begin today with small but powerful choices. Replace soda with water. That single swap cuts out dozens of teaspoons of sugar each week. Cook with olive oil instead of processed vegetable oil, giving your body healthy fat that reduces inflammation. And fill at least half of your plate with colorful vegetables. These steps are simple, but when done daily, they build a foundation of strength and independence. I have seen seniors who made these changes and within months felt more energy, better digestion, and even lighter moods. One patient told me, "I never thought switching my cooking oil and eating more broccoli could make such a difference, but I feel 20 years younger." That is the power of steady, balanced choices. If this message resonates with you, share it with a friend who needs encouragement. And make sure to subscribe so you never miss a life-saving tip that could change your future. Take care of yourself today. Your future independence depends on it.